Imagine yourself walking through a misty forest in Estonia. The ground beneath your feet is soft and springy, covered in damp moss. Around you, slender pine and birch trees rise like sentinels, their trunks smooth and pale like old marble. A faint breeze stirs the treetops, and somewhere in the bog, a small stream gurgles like a forgotten lullaby. The air smells of wet earth, pine needles, and something ancient. You are in one of the quietest, most mysterious countries in Europe. Welcome to Estonia. Estonia rests in the far northeast of Europe, like a hidden painting between the Baltic Sea, Latvia, and Russia. With only 1.3 million people, it offers more silence than noise, more sky than skyline. In its landscapes, you'll find forests that go on for days, unspoiled wetlands that breathe with the seasons, and lakes so still they seem to hold memories. The cities are compact, yet alive. The countryside? Timeless. Let's begin with food. Not just nourishment, but memory. Imagine entering a small wooden house, its windows glowing with golden light as snow falls outside. On the table waits a loaf of dense, dark rye bread, sliced thick, its crust like bark, its heart warm and sour. Nearby, a plate of Verwurst, blood sausage, crackles softly, its earthy flavor balanced by the sweetness of lingonberry jam and the bite of fermented cabbage. Every bite tastes like winter, like survival and celebration in one. Now imagine dessert. Kringle, a braided bread spiral, still warm, its surface glistening with sugar and cinnamon. As you pull a piece, the dough stretches like silk, fragrant with cardamom. Or maybe it's kohuke, a chilled bar of creamy curd cheese hidden beneath a shell of dark chocolate, melting instantly on the tongue. And always, there are berries, wild ones, hand-picked in summer, made into thick ruby jams, tart and alive. Estonia takes education seriously. In bright, quiet classrooms, children learn not just reading and math, but also digital skills. Coding becomes part of the curriculum by age 7. Equality and practicality define the system. Every child gets a warm meal. Every child is seen. Estonia's government feels less like an institution and more like a well-designed app. After regaining its independence in 1991, without violence, only song, Estonia rewrote what a modern nation could be. Today, you can open a business in 15 minutes, vote from your forest cabin, and check your medical records from your phone. Bureaucracy doesn't talk loudly here. It listens and disappears. Winter sports aren't just activities. They're rituals. Picture yourself gliding across a snowy meadow at dusk, the only sound the gentle swoosh of your skis and the quiet rhythm of your breath. Or entering a gym where young wrestlers practice silently, sweat and focus hanging in the air. Estonia may be small, but it moves with power and grace, and its athletes are symbols of quiet determination. Music in Estonia is not heard, it's felt. From ancient Regilol, those hypnotic runic chants passed down over centuries, to the ethereal silence in Arvo Part's minimalist compositions. And then there's Laulupidu, the song festival. Picture a giant amphitheater carved into a hillside, where over 30,000 singers raise their voices as one. The sound swells like a wave, like a heartbeat shared across generations. It's not performance, it's prayer. Estonian culture breathes in forests and steams in saunas. Imagine slipping into a wooden sauna by a frozen lake, your skin stinging, your mind slowing, your heartbeat sinking with the crackle of the stove. Later, wrapped in wool, you walk through a forest, wicker basket in hand, seeking chanterelles or blueberries, moving quietly, reverently. Here, nature is not a backdrop, it's a partner. The Estonian people are reserved, yes, but not cold. Their warmth reveals itself slowly, like fire beneath the snow. Most are Estonian, but nearly a quarter speak Russian, and others belong to smaller groups like the Sito, whose songs and stories carry an ancient soul. This is a country of layers, of coexisting truths told in silence and in song. And then there is nature, breathtaking, vast, and untouched. Forests that shimmer in morning mist, peat bogs that hum with secrets. Over 2,000 islands scatter the Baltic Sea like stepping stones for giants. Some hold villages, others only birds and wind. On a cold, clear night in the far north, the aurora borealis may streak across the sky in green fire, and you will stand still, the world hushed. Estonia's history is written in layers, like the sediment in a lake bed. Danish swords, Swedish crowns, German merchants, Russian czars. It declared independence in 1918, lost it to the war machines of the 20th century, and found it again in 1991. Not with bullets, but with ballads. That story still echoes in stone fortresses, in quiet town squares, in every student who sings the old songs. Folklore is not forgotten. It walks among the trees. Old women tie red thread to sacred trees. Children are told of bog spirits and whispering stones. Some believe that if you step too boldly into the wild, the forest may lead you astray. But if you walk humbly and listen, you'll find your way home. The language? A spell. Estonian rolls gently, filled with long vowels, soft consonants, and words that sound like wind in reeds. It's related to Finnish, but speaks its own ancient truth. Some words describe moods that last days. Others describe light on water. It is a language built for poetry. Religion in Estonia is quiet. Churches stand, but many are empty. Instead, people light candles on windowsills, tie wishes to trees, and leave food for the unseen. Faith here is not shouted, it is breathed, woven into rituals that reach back before books. Let's return to the islands, each with its own heartbeat, On Saaremaa, the wind smells of juniper and salt. You walk along low stone walls and meet old women selling homemade herbal salves. Hiiumaa feels even older, quieter. In its lighthouses, time stands still. In the wetlands of Summaa, the land transforms with the fifth season. Locals take to canoes, gliding silently through flooded trees. Reflections double the world. Villages in Estonia are not just places, they're living memories. Wooden houses, painted in muted colors, lean slightly from decades of snow and sun. Gardens are carefully tended. Chickens wander freely. Smoke rises from chimneys even in July. And in these villages, old traditions breathe. Handicrafts are not hobbies, they are inheritance. Women weave linen, men carve spoons and knives. Every season brings its own rhythm. Haymaking, mushrooming, preserving, celebrating. The arts in Estonia are understated, yet rich. Visual artists capture the light of northern evenings. Writers pen short stories that linger in your chest. Estonia is a country where contrast is harmony, where you might work for a tech startup by day and forage for herbs by evening. Estonia's relationship with the environment is more than policy. It's instinct. Children grow up with muddy boots and scratched knees. Schools organize forest days. Climate challenges exist, rising seas, industrial legacies, but the response is thoughtful. Cities experiment with green roofs and solar co-ops. Nature here is not conquered, it is consulted. The soundscape of Estonia is subtle and rich. The creak of a wooden dock at dawn, the rustle of birch leaves, the crunch of snow under boots. Silence isn't emptiness, it's invitation. Cemeteries are forests with gravestones tucked beneath trees. People visit not to speak, but to sit, to remember, to be. The Estonian flag, blue, black, and white, is often seen fluttering gently from balconies. Blue for sky, black for past, white for hope. Love is quiet, a glance, a shared thermos, a walk without words. There's romance in restraint, in allowing someone to simply exist. Even humor is subtle, dry, ironic, self-deprecating. It surfaces gently, like fog rising from a lake. Estonia is part of the EU, part of NATO, but remains proudly distinct. It looks outward with curiosity and inward with care. It collaborates, but never conforms blindly. When you visit, when you walk the cobbled streets of Viljandi or cycle through the meadows of Voorumaa, you'll feel it, the stillness, the strength, the story beneath your feet. So what is Estonia, truly? It is not a headline, not a soundbite, not a slogan. It is a pause, a breath, a moment between sentences. It is a forest that remembers, a song that resists, a silence that speaks. Thank you for walking slowly with me. Thank you for listening. Good night, and until the next country.